Hello guys, now you're watching the live stream of CGTN and I am the reporter Guo Tianqi. Right here we are standing at Shimian County of Ya'an City. After the earthquake hit Sichuan province on Monday, this is the third day since the rescue started. And behind me you can see this is a huge helicopter used to the emergency rescue, and right here we are at a playground of a middle school in Xinmin County. And also because you can see it's actually drizzling right now, the situation is not really good for the helicopters to take off or land at the really remote villages, because right now there are still some roads are blocked by the landslide and mudslide caused by the earthquake and the secondary disasters caused by the rain. So some of the really heavy machinery have to be carried there by the helicopter. And also because the weather condition is not very pleasant, so we can here have an opportunity to talk to some employees here that are preparing to take off as soon as the weather is allowing us to do so. I believe they are the employees from State Grid, and they're carrying some tents inside the helicopter. And also here we can see there are lots of different materials that can be carried by this helicopter, including some circuits and other supplies, fuels for the helicopter. And here we have Mr. Li. Okay. And now I have Mr. Li with us, my guest from State Grid. 您好，可以给我们介绍一下自己吗？
你好，我是来自石棉县，石棉县电力公司的李路。
可以给我们介绍一下今天我们带的哪些设备吗？ Can you introduce to us what kind of equipment we're carrying today?
今天我们主要是给就是正中送那个10千伏的电缆线，有3500米。但是因为
这些都是10千伏。
对，10千伏的那个电缆。
So he told us that today they're carrying the circuits of the 10 kV kilovolt for the epicenter. I believe it's Xinmin Town. 是草科乡，对不对？
对，就是受灾最严重的一个震中。
So all the circuits is counts for about 3,500 meters. 我们带这些10千伏的这个电线是用来干什么的呢？
主要是恢复受损的10千伏线路。现在里面因为地震嘛，它属于山区，我们这个草科乡属于在山区里面，它那个导干断线很严重。主要是恢复10千伏线路的供电，有了10千伏的供电，它400伏的400伏变压器的供电才有了保障。
这个主要是来保障民用用电，对不对？
要首先它的要10千伏线路通了，民用用电才可以用。
So Mr. Li told us right now Xinmin Town is still facing the lack of electricity. So they are taking those electric circuits to restore the civil use of the electricity. 所以我们昨天运过去的一些设备已经修好了，主要的那个高压线路是吗？
对，我们有些地方已经通上电了，但是还有一些村镇还没有供上电，就是因为受损的电杆和10千伏的线路严重受损了，已经坍塌了，所以要进去，急需把这个设备拉进去进行更换。
我们昨天也这个飞了很多次，是不是？
对，昨天一共给我们就是飞了我们分了5次。送物资和送人员，分了5次送进去，然后就首先抢通了那个，就是首先把那个应急点亮了灾区的第一盏灯，把应急的集中安置点，在昨天晚上8点钟的时候就点亮了。
So in Caoke village is still facing a very severe situation because the roads to Caoke is still blocked, and if you have to go to there by foot, it takes about more than 7 hours after you went to the Wanggangping town by water, and then you walk 7 hours to Caoke. So that's really challenging job. But yesterday we're told at a press conference that all the electricity in Sichuan that are affected by this earthquake, all the electricity in the towns and villages are restored. And Mr. Li told us that yesterday they've also sent 5 times of the helicopter to carry the very heavy equipments to the epicenter, to Caoke town. For example, the generators, the fuels, other daily necessities, tents, and also requested personnel, the rescue personnel, to restore the electricity. And yesterday they were able to light the first light in the Caoke town, and that is located in the temporary shelter in that area. 所以我们看到这里有一些牌子是这是这个便民充电点，是不是？
对。
对，所以是我们也会给当地的居民提供充电的服务。
对。现在我们还拉了2顶帐篷，准备搭建两个这个就是国家电网，国家电网的党员临时党支部，成立了临时党支部，提供给灾区的居民嘛，给他们便民服务充电。因为现在有些地方帐篷里面是没有电的，他们手机通讯虽然说现在信号有了一点，但是手机好多都没电，所以我们给他提供那个党员服务，我们的新年新这个党员服务的临时党支部来给他们提供便民充电。
Okay. So actually in lots of the temporary shelter, we can see that there is a tent of State Grid, and they also carrying the signs written the charging station for residents provided by State Grid. And they are setting up those convenient sites in the temporary shelters, especially those areas that the electricity is not fully resumed. 那像我们这样一个飞机的话，就是它可以一次载多少那个发电设备？
这个飞机它是限制了吨数的，一般就是因为我们山区，就是刚才那个我们的机长，我问过他机长说，如果是在平原地区，它可以载4-5吨，在山区最多就是1.5吨。现在我们线材都已经有1吨多了，所以这批发电机就暂时没法上，只有等第2批次才可以上发電機了。
Yes, so Mr. Li told us the captain says in this mountainous area, this helicopter can only carry about 1.5 tons of cargo. Those circuits is already weigh about 1 ton. So the generators, maybe the generators have to come to the next time of this helicopter. And also we can see some crew members are on the site. Some crew members. And also I want to ask, when the earthquake first occurred, how can you get access to the remote villages? 当地震刚发生的时候，你们是怎样在最短时间内展开救援的？
就是在5号刚发生地震的时候，然后我们王岗坪有一个供电所叫王岗坪供电所，它的管辖范围就是王岗坪乡、新民乡和那个草科乡。
So he told us that in Wanggangping there is already have electricity supply center, and it is in charging for lots of remote villages that are affected by this time's earthquake.
当我们供电所的当时发生了地震之后，因为我们每个供电所都存备应急物资的，就是备用物资的，就当时然后就配合乡政府就进行了救援抢修。
So when the earthquake happened, those employees working at the electricity supply center in Wanggangping town, they are also conducting the emergency rescue team right after the earthquake occurred, because they've also have some electricity storage, for example, the electricity circuits and other things. So they are able to have some self-helping measures to ensure the basic electricity supplies. 那你们当时遇到的最大的困难是什么？
就是第一个是刚发生地震嘛，余震很多，就是有些危险的地方去不了，不知道灾情情况什么样。只有就是等待那个乡政府就是乡政府的通知，然后做一些简单的先统计，从灾情就是最后灾情出来之后就发现物资紧缺，然后当天我们就徒步，就是我们背上小型发电机，就进入了受灾比较严重的村镇，去协助乡政府救援和通电啊。
So right after the earthquake, because there's lots of aftershock after this earthquake, because the epicenter is really deep. It's about 16 kilometers under the ground. Actually, we already told by the authority that over 10 aftershock of this earthquake are recorded. That is more than magnitude 3.0 level, and also the day before yesterday in the midnight we also suffered a magnitude 4.5 aftershock. So when they are coming to the sites, the aftershock is a very crucial problem, because they have to ensure the safety of their personnel, so they can only to do some evaluating jobs, and also carrying those light generators to walk by hand to walk into the remote villages such as 草科。所以当时你们到草科的时候是完全没有信号的，是不是？
对，就是完全没有信号，无法联系。但是我们供电所就是在这个雨季就是都是有一台那个卫星电话，当时卫星电话的信号也不是很好，就断断续续可以对外联系，但是质量很差。当时我们就只有反正都是乡镇嘛，配合当地政府，就是听从他的安排，我们进行了就是抢险救灾。
那当时那些充电的这个小型发电机大概有多重啊？
小型发电机可能有20-30公斤。
一个人背吗？
两个人用那个木板抬着走。
So the light, even if it's the light generator, it weighs for more than 20 kilograms for each one. So they have to carry the generators by hands and using a board to carry that. Two people combined in one group, and to walk through all those very destroyed roads to get to the remote villages. 我还想问一下，就是当时你们到了草科乡之后，就是那里的就是主要的供电线路的状况是什么样？
很糟糕，那个10线副线路导杆断线的很多，然后变电站也跳闸了嘛，都停了10几座变电站，所以当时相当于草科乡受损很严重，草科乡受损很严重，道路坍塌，然后山体都把公路全部坍塌掉了，然后地震那个就是老百姓的房子嘛，都是那种村民的房子都是老房子土房子，全部就变成了废墟了，啊。
In those very old buildings that are built by the villagers, they were all collapsed due to the earthquake. And when they arrived at Caoke town, and the situation is not very pleasant, not very optimistic, because basically most of the 10 kV circuits are blocked or collapsed due to the earthquake, and the only transformer substation also are not usable. 那你们是什么时候就把这个变电站和高压线抢修完成的？
就是昨天晚上8点钟的时候就恢复了几座变电站，然后就很多就有些村镇就已经通上电了，就昨天晚上8点钟的时候。
高压电的线路已经恢复了吗？
多数的恢复了，还有少部分没恢复。今天那个物资就恢复少部分的。
So the main circuits such as the high tension electric circuits and some of the transformer sites are restored yesterday's evening around 8 o'clock. So that's the reason why those villages. Most of the villages, downtown areas are accessible to electricity. 那您可以跟我们说一下，为什么就是这个直升机运送物资在你们提供救援方面，它的这个作用是什么样的？
直升机，因为我们道路坍塌嘛，物资全部进不去。当时王岗坪，草科是还在王岗坪以后。现在当时坍塌的时候，就是王岗坪是可以用水路过去，但是草科是完全进不去，都是靠直升飞机运送物资。直升飞机确实提供了很大的帮助，没有直升飞机的话，我们的所有物资全部进不去，然后老百姓也没有这么快，就会用上电。还有就是基站恢复的也没有这么快，我们的抢修人员也进不去这么多。然后就是如果没有直升飞机的话，没有直升飞机送我们人员物资的话，我们肯定这个抗震抢险工作肯定要延长了。
So the most severe problem right now is still the transportation, and also Mr. Li told us if there is not a helicopter transportation, they are not able to send so many rescue team members, and also those heavy equipments to the earthquake area, and the procedure of resume the electricity will be tremendously postponed. 那我们今天的计划是什么样子呢？
今天本来是按原计划是今天早上7点钟要飞的，要把这批物资拉进去的，但是因为这个天气情况不好，已经早上雾很大，因为昨天下了雨，早上雾很大，一直现在都不能起风，现在天气也下起了大雨，今天的这个运送物资的任务肯定完成不了了，就没办法了，因为道路也还没抢通。今天就明天早晨看一下，明天如果天气好的话，明天一早7点钟把物资运进去。
那会影响今天的救援工作吗？
今天还是只有用我们的发电机，给那个灾区的群众用发电机带电，带上电给他照明。但是线路就恢复不了了，今天。
OK， 但其实这个有的地方就是有一些路段是公路是通了的，为什么你们不选用那个公路来运输呢？运输
现在公路只能到王岗坪，王岗坪到草科的路还是没通，所以没办法用公路汽车运输，只有还是依托于飞机来运输。
OK， 好，谢谢您，我们就不打扰了。好，谢谢，辛苦了。Actually, today we are planned to take this airplane with the staff from the state grid and to record how they are restoring all those electricity, but the weather condition is not very good. Actually, earlier there is a small helicopter just took off to check the situation, and they discovered that in those areas especially in those remote towns such as Chaoke, the rainfall is really heavy. So we to ensure the safety of the crew members, they have to postpone the flight. And they say because the lights comes off at around, the sun goes down at around 7 o'clock in the afternoon. So maybe today they are not able to transfer those electricity supplies to the epicenter. And today those residents who living in the temporary shelters, they also have to use the electricity generators to provide the emergency supply. And here are also some crew members of the helicopter that have just come to check the situation. And here we have Mr. Liang with us. We have Mr. Liang with us to introduce to us the situation that what he saw on the sky. 您好，您刚刚是坐这个直升飞机上去检查了一下那个天气的状况是吧？可以给我们介绍一下吗？
那个我们刚才去了草科乡，航路天气的话就是变差，低云，航路现在在降雨，现在你看到我们本场现在也降起了大雨，我们今天的任务就是取消，
So he told us when he was on the helicopter to evaluate the situation that the rain is starting to get more and more heavy, and the clouds are very low. 你可以带我们看一下你们的飞机吗？I'm asking him to show us the helicopter that are used to check the weather condition. 我想问一下，我们这个救援飞机它在执行任务时候的这个天气状况有没有什么要求？
有很大要求。飞机的话，它是目视飞行，尤其我们在山区飞行的话，它是不能靠仪表来飞行的。我们能见度低的话，就会影响我们一个观察，所以会天气不好会存在很大的安全隐患。
So Mr. Liang told me that because they are flying in the mountainous area, so they cannot rely on the machines and all those electricity supplies in the helicopter. They have to use their eyesight to conduct all the entire flight. So the weather condition is very crucial at this period of time. 我们看到这个直升机比其他的那两架稍微小一点。
是小飞机的话，它机动灵活，它可以就是在起降场地有限的情况下，像灾区，我们就可以把专业队员运送下去，来开辟一块很大的场地。这样的话可以满足我们后面大飞机的一个降落。
Okay. So he told us that this helicopter is smaller than the other one, but it's more efficient to carry those rescue teams to those areas. And now we have the Captain Huang here for this airplane. And 机长，您可以给我们介绍一下您刚刚看到的情况怎么样？
刚刚我们往航路那个附近飞，基本上刚开始出这个山口的时候，石棉县这里天气还好，越往前飞能见度越差。基本上快过了王岗坪乡开始下雨，到那个叫草科乡，雨就越来越大了。现在雨已经越来越过来，就是云底高大概在2400到2500，这能见度因为水汽重，所以能见度不太好，所以我们果断决定返场了，不具备这个救援条件。
就其他的这些比较大的飞机都需要听从你们的。
对，是的，我们基本上以侦察为主，然后给其他飞机开辟航路，然后确定这个救援路线比较安全了，其他飞机再进入，基本上这些程序。
我先 So this small helicopter is used to detect the situation of the route of the flight, and after the captain are evaluated to be safety for people to conduct the rescue mission, other planes can take off, but the situation on the site of Caoke is not very pleasant because of the rain and moisture. And the weather situation after when the plane took off, the weather situation in here and Wangangping town is from here to Wangangping, the weather condition is acceptable, but the Wangangping to Caoke, the weather condition is not allowing any helicopters to commute in that area. 我们这个飞机是从哪里过来救援？
我们飞机一直在那个四川省凉山州值班，上个月刚从那个泸州打火回来，可能刚休整了几天，就这边开始救援了。然后这架飞机在这里也发挥了很大作用，因为这个四川南部和中部这边山区比较多，然后好多地方像旁边那个幺拐幺大飞机它落不下去，它气流比较大，所以在这里我们这架小松鼠还是转运出了很多的这个中度和重度的伤员，包括后续的一些医疗工作者和救援人员，他们在被困在山里也是我们给转运出来的。
So Captain Huang told me that because this small helicopter is not very restricted to the landform and the landing spot. So when the rescue operation started, it also provided tremendous help to transfer those very seriously injured personnel and the medical workers, also some of the rescue members that are stranded in the remote areas. And also Captain Huang told us actually this airplane is just finished the last mission of putting off a forest fire in Luzhou city in Sichuan province, and they just rest for a few days and started the rescue mission right here. 你们什么时候来的？
我们是地震当天的下午4点钟左右到的这个震区，然后接到前面的指令，我们就报了飞行计划，就飞到震区开始侦察巡逻，判断这个灾情的震中在哪里，然后哪个地方损伤最严重，几乎就是给后方传递出有效的信息，这样。
So actually, Captain Huang told me only 3 hours after the earthquake occurred, this airplane is on site to provide the services, rescue, to provide information of the basic information of the earthquake to all the rescue teams. It flew to the epicenter areas such as Wangangping and Caoke to evaluate where is the most severely damaged spots and transfer those information to command center and to other rescue teams. 我们这基本上就是飞行的时候，我们就是飞机上会带哪些设备？
飞机上带一些我们必要的一个救援设备，还有一些 GPS 等等飞行相关的设备。给你讲故事。昨天那个新华社的记者给我讲，我下来救了一个孕妇，然后当时本来是她好像不是具备那种危重病人的条件，本来不能上飞机。当时我又转运了一趟，后来飞机上他们有一个危重病人，后来我就跟当地那个救援的医生说，我说我还有4个座位，可以满足再多拉几个人，我们尽可能希望把灾区里更多的人给他转运出来，尤其是那种老幼小孩这样的。当时孕妇下来，那个记者给我讲，她哭了，就是特别感动，因为她在那里很无助。她本来好像有8个月身孕了吧， 下来昨天下午还专门那个记者又给他拉到山上，他做了一个全天的一个采访，在那个上面下来回来的时候，基本上把山里面的好像叫田湾吧，田湾幸福村，把山里面所有的伤员和孕妇、老人全部转运出来了，我也记不清飞了几趟了。然后村民把他们能拿到最好的什么猕猴桃、大枣都飞机上塞满了。我们如果不带的话，他就不让我们走了。这样。
很淳朴，相
对。
So Captain Huang told me, they are transferring countless seriously injured patients from the very heavily affected areas to the downtown of Shimian County, including a pregnant lady that she is with an 8 months pregnancy, and when she came off the aeroplane, and she cried because she was really helpless while in the village that is not accessible to electricity and also signals. But right here, right now, she came here to a safer place. It's a very good news for her and her baby. And also, Captain Huang told us the local people, they are very grateful for their effort to transfer the old people and the injured people, the injuries to the downtown area. So they give them lots of gifts, the local products such as the dates and fruits and kiwi fruit, peaches, to ask them to put on the helicopters, otherwise they are not allowed to leave. 那当时其实飞机上的载重够不够你装这些礼物？
说实话没有太重，但是满满的情谊在里面了。他们村民特别淳朴，就是在我看来，他觉得把我能提供的最好的东西要给帮助我们的人，就是这样的一个感觉。
So the villagers are providing what they consider as the best for those people that have helped them, and those materials are not very heavy, so they can accept this enthusiastic.
因为那块场地特别狭小，当时只有我们这架飞机可以落下去，所以前面他们不停地在那摇起，我们也很着急，就不停地跟着他们的引导，然后按着他们把自己一块地好像都给它铲平了，旁边那个大概铺的那种塑料薄膜什么都给掀了，怕影响我飞机起降，所以村民也做出了他们的牺牲。可能在我们看来，这个不值，这个不算是多少金钱财富，但是可能对于他们来说，可能是他们1年的收入了，这样的。就是把那块地都铲平，给让我们飞机起降的。
本来是有庄稼的，是吧？
对，有，他们可能是种的是一种药材吧，我估计是上面铺的黑色的那种遮光的布。是这样。
Captain Huang told us that when there is a village that is the roads and areas is not very suitable for helicopter to land, but the local people, the local farmers are removing all their crops to clear an open air for the only helicopter to land there and to evacuate those people that are needed. Because at that time, this is the only helicopter that can finish this mission. 好，谢谢你，黄机长。
好了，我们谢谢。
谢谢。注意安全，飞行的时候。
好的，一定会注意的。好了，
谢谢。Right here, actually, here are still lots of different employees from different companies are on standby to conduct their mission. Earlier, we also talked to some engineers from China Unicom, a communication company in China, one of the major company in China, and they are here on standby to carry all their heavier equipment, such as the drones, to provide instant telecommunication for the local people. And here I see they are adjusting their equipment. Maybe we can talk to them to see what's going on right here. 你们好，现在是不是在调试设备呢？
是的，你好。
给我们介绍一下自己吧。
好的，我们是中国联通南京救援平台的无人机直播保障队。然后呢，我们这边呢是通过我们联通自研的南京应急救援平台呢，可以实现对我们灾区的一个快速的三维建模。在短时间内范围内呢，就可以对我们半小时内对我们灾区的这种小范围的这种灾区呢进行一个快速的三维建模。同时呢，也支持就是对我们灾区的人员的一个 AI 识别和精准的定位，可以呢对我们直播的画面进行实时的 AI 分析，分析我们灾区的这个人员的一个数量、位置信息，并进行一个统计。最后呢，我们也有就是灾区的这个画面的一个实时直播功能。
So this is a drone team from the China Unicom, and he told us that this drone can provide can form an instant 3D model as it's flying over the epicenter. 你们今天是要把这些设备带到王岗坪，带到草科乡是吗？
是的。
打算带过去。
是的。
我看这个电脑上现在是在播放一些画面，这个是在播放什么？
这个是我们刚刚在做那个测试的时候，平台的一个测试的画面，可以看到就是现在我们平台上就是对我们刚刚你们在操场上直播的那个现场画面呢，我们进行了一个识别，识别到这个人员呢，他是做了一个定位的，定位的信息呢，就是直接在我们旁边的这个平台上。
This is the video that they are recorded earlier, and you can see here here is a little red square. There's a little. 它是现在正在计算吗？
是我们这个是刚刚做的那个测试呢，因为平台是放在云上的这个现场的网络。好了，可以了。
Yes, here you can see. This is discovered. This is the live people that are discovered by the system. 所以它除了识别这个人的功能，还有什么呢？
除了识别人的话，对我们灾害的这种，比如说它的山体滑坡或者是道路损毁，我们的一些这种房屋的损坏的话，我们现在也是可以做平台的一个识别的一个功能。
So not only to discover the personnels, and also this drone and the system can discover the possible geographical disasters such as the landslide, the mudslide, and the other kind of secondary disasters in the earthquake area when it flowed to there for a round. 还有什么测试的画面吗？
测试的画面。
可以看到这个是显示我们已经拍过的地方。
对，刚刚识别到的这个人员呢，把那个人员的识别到的信息呢，就是我们定位到的2维地图上。
So this is the actual location of the people that are shown earlier in the video. 就是刚刚在视频里面看到那些人，他们实际的位置就是这里。
是的，就是把它定位到我们的这个实际的那个地图上。
那其实对救援工作非常有帮助的。
是的，对我们这个应急的救援工作的话，它是有实质性的一个帮助的。
It can help tremendously on this rescue team and this rescue efforts. 所以这个就是你们的这个救援平台的名字。
是的。
The Emergency Rescue Platform Support Team. 那谁是飞手啊 ？Who's the driver of the drone?
飞手是这2位都是我们的飞手。
可以给我们介绍一下自己吧。
我是中讯邮电资讯设计院的薛义军。
你好，我是中讯邮电的设计院的那个郑新辉。
2位看起来都很年轻啊，是第一次参加这种救援工作吗？还是很有经验了？
对，我们是第一次过来，因为平常都是在办公室就办公嘛，就来参加一次这种就抗震救灾呀，就是为解决灾情贡献力量，还是很不错一个机会，我觉得。
其实今天大家也是打算坐这个直升机去到那个草科乡最严重的地方，对吧？
对对对，本来今天打算上去的，但是因为天气原因导致今天就被暂时搁置在这里。是这样的。
所以so they told us they are also planning to take a helicopter to Caoke village, Caoke town, but due to the weather condition, maybe it's not possible for them to fly there today. And the team members, the 2 young team members, they are also, it's their first time to participate in this huge rescue forces. 你们是什么时候来到石棉县的呢？
我们是昨天晚上到了这边的。对，因为成都那边疫情的原因，导致时间耽搁了一些。应该是第一时间来到这边进行抗震救援的。
So he told us they came here at Shimian County yesterday to provide rescue support services because actually Chengdu is fighting for a COVID disaster, a COVID outbreak, so they deterred a little bit. 那你们这次来的时候有没有带一些恢复应急通讯的设备呢？来问一下。
恢复应急通讯的设备呢，我们的同事呢，现在已经就是先行的进入了我们的灾区在我们的草科和就是受灾比较严重的爱国乡那边呢，就是有相应的我们的同事已经在做现场的一个应急通讯的一个恢复工作了。
There are already deployed lots of personnel to the most remote villages such as Caoke to resume the emergency communication. 我知道这个四川省它已经投入了40多台这个应急通讯车。
是的，我们联通这边呢，就是据我们了解，就是今天也有相应的差不多有6辆左右的那个我们的就是应急的通讯车辆呢，就是先行的就是进入到我们的那个灾区了，就是他们是通过公路进去的。
So the China Unicom also provide the 6 emergency communication vehicle to the most heated area to provide telecommunication. 那但是有一些公路不通的地方，要怎么样保障应急通讯呢？
公路不通的地方的话，就是我们也会有相应的这种，就是通过无人机，然后呢搭载那个基站的方式，然后通过无人机搭载基站，在那个就是远程的去做一个就是通讯的一个保障工作。当然就是相应的，我们有这种专业的这种那个公路的那个通路的一个就是挖掘的一个工作也会就是尽快的去把这个公路呢做一个抢通的工作。
So Mr. Liang told us that for those areas that are still not accessible by vehicles, the emergency telecommunication vehicle are not very easy to go in there. So they're using emergency communication drones to provide emergency signals for them. 我知道现在草科乡的安置点也已经能打通电话了，是不是？
是的，我们的草科安置乡的话，就是草科安置点的话是早就已经可以就是进行一个通话了。在前天的时候，就是我们的通讯保障的队伍已经进去的时候的话，就已经保障了我们基本的就是居民的一个通信和那个就是通话的一个保障了。
那手机的那个上网的信号什么时候才能恢复呢？
手机上网的信号，据我们了解的话，就是可以有就是简单的一个上网的行为，但是呢，比如说对一些这种大流量的，有一些比如说像我们手机的游戏或者手机的可能有一些这种直播的画面，它可能会有一些这种限制，因为它的这个流量毕竟是有限的，是通过卫星来的。
是昨天就开始，昨天的时候草科就已经可以通电话了，对吧？
是的，昨天晚上我们草科的同事呢还跟我们取得了联系，我们也是实时的跟他们保持了一个联系的。
好，So in Caoke town, the most hit village in Shimian County, and the roads are still blocked, but the employees from telecommunication companies such as the China Unicom, they came there and they have already restored certain level of communication, such as, for example, you can use the mobile phone to dial another number in downtown area and is accessible to both sides of both sides of the people. And also, for the 5G signal, the basic function can be used to use the 5G signal, such as testing through WeChat or other social media. But if you want to watch a live streaming or to play video games, that's might be a little bit harder right now. 那我们要什么时候才能就是完成这个通讯设备的完全的恢复呢？
就是根据我们昨天晚上那个会议的一个精神的话，就是联通这边的话会在预计会在今天和明天抢通，就是我们草科的一个光纤的一个通讯的链路。光纤通讯链路那个抢通之后的话，基本上就会保障了我们那个草科的一个正常的所有的这个网络的这个信息的一个使用。
但是路还没有通，你们要怎么弄？
路的话，草科的路已经就是据了解的话已经是通了的。公路
你们是会用汽车是运输这些设备上去吗？
它是那个就是网络通讯的那个抢通的话，就是它可能不一定就是公路通，因为我们那个网络通信的那个光纤链路，它没有就是完全跟我们的公路是平行，它有一些地方的话，就是我们把光纤的那个中断的地方把它抢通了之后的话，我们草科的那个网络就会相应的通畅了。
那对电力的要求是什么样子的？
电力的要求的话，就是因为中间的话，就是如果是通过光纤的这种方式来的话，那电力是在我们两边有相应的这个电力保障就行了。就是像我们草科那边我们了解的情况，就是他们那边是有本身就有应急的这种保障的这种游击，然后呢就是保障了重点的这种，比如说一些通讯呀、一些电力啊、一些救援的这种设备的一个电力的一个供应。所以呢，草科当地的那个电力的话，目前我们了解情况应该是可以保障我们这个联通这边的这个相应的这个通讯设备的一个恢复的。
好，谢谢您，谢谢您。So Mr. Liang told us they are planned to fully restore the 5G communication in Caoke in today and or tomorrow, because the 5G signal circuits is different from the roads, the highway, so it is possible to restore the communication, 5G communication, even if the roads are still not totally clear to Caoke village. And right here, you can see behind me is also you can see right here in that direction there is a COVID testing center. I believe it's a temporary testing center in the middle school, especially provided, I believe it's for the rescue forces, including firefighters and other personnel. And all of them are wearing masks and are asked to keep a distance about 1 meter with each other. Actually, also we know that Sichuan province is facing a very huge outbreak of COVID-19. So, but in Caoke, but in Shimian Town, they haven't found any one confirmed case before the earthquake. But when the earthquake occurred, lots of rescue teams are coming to here to provide their different kind of services from every directions, including firefighters, police officers, medical workers, and also employees from state grid and telecommunication to provide emergency restore of the electricity and communication in this epicenter area. But they are also have a certain risk of the transmission of COVID virus. So the authority in Xinmin County are asking every personnel to take a COVID test every day including the personnel from the rescue teams and also the personnel that are living in the living in the temporary shelters and in all of the Shimian Town, Shimian County. As far as we know, in Sichuan province, they've already set up more than 120 temporary settlement shelters in Shimian County and Luding County. Luding is where the huge earthquake, the magnitude of 6.8 earthquake occurred on Monday. And about 80 are in Ya'an City. About 80 are in Ya'an City and another 40 in Luding County. And all the temporary shelters, they have, you can always find a testing center close to the epicenter that you can get tested. Also, if you want to enter a temporary shelter site, you have to scan a QR code to indicate you have visited this area, and your travel code and health code must be green. Let's talk to some of the firefighters right now. 您好，我想问您一下，就是你们刚刚的任务是什么呢？
做核酸。
在之前呢？
之前我们在那边待命。
你们是什么时候来这里救灾的
？9月6号下午，大概是晚上10点左右到的。
是地震第2天之后。
头一天就当天。
你们是9月5号晚上10点到的，对不对？
对，当天到的。
你们在救援的当中做了一些什么工作？
我们在救援的当中进行了伤病员的转运，然后还有灾区就是镇区里面的物资搬运啊这个工作。
你们去了哪些地方？
我们去了新民乡那边上面，然后从新民乡上面转下来的。
你们去了王岗坪了没有啊？
因为我们当时只到新民乡，在新民乡上待命之后然后就让我们返回石棉县城进行伤病员的转送、转运这些。
你们当时去新民乡的时候，道路情况是怎么样的？
当时去新民乡道路情况就是有很多地方是坍塌的，然后经过一些工作人员的进行疏通，但是可以过车，然后其他地方还比较良好。
知道了，谢谢您。How they told us they arrived at Shimian County the first day after the earthquake. About few hours after earthquake, they have arrived and right here and started their rescue mission. And the first day, they've already tried to enter the Xinmin Xiang, one of the very severely damaged village affected by the earthquake. And they're here to help the transfer of injured people and take care of them, carrying all the materials in those people. Okay. And the first day after the earthquake, the road between Xinmin Town to Shimian County are basically cleared by the local people, so the vehicles can enter there. And right here behind me, there are some light grids that can be transported to Caoke by the helicopter, and they are here also on standby to wait for the transmission. Also, you can see around here we are at a mountainous area, and those mountains the average latitude in Wanggangping is about 3,000 meters above the sea level. So when it comes to the earthquake, all the roads are beside the mountains, so it's very likely to be blocked by the landslide caused by the earthquake. And so the condition in Caoke, you can imagine, is quite severe, and it's very needly for those heavy grid to be transported there and start to clear the roads. Also, we're told that there might be the rain might be continued until the day after until tomorrow. And the rain situation in Luding County is even more severe. So the authorities is asking the rescue teams to put the safety of the personnel to the first priority and to pay absolute attention to the secondary disaster, the geographical disaster caused by the earthquake, because the stones and soils are cracked due to the earthquake. The rainfall is very likely to go deep inside the rocks and cause some mud flood and landslide. So they're asking all the rescue teams to evacuate personnel as much as possible, as soon as possible, to the open air, and to prevent the casualty that brought by the secondary disaster. And also right here, still the most severe problem of the rescue forces is the weather and also the transportation. But yesterday, this airport is very busy, and you can hear the helicopter is flying, is taking off and landing here. But today, because of the weather condition, maybe they can't finish their mission right now. But we are hoping that the people in the most remote areas that are affected by the earthquake, such as Caoke and Wanggangping, they can have a safer night tonight. Because yesterday, according to a press conference, authority told us they've already dispatched some airplanes to provide with them some waterproof materials such as tents, blankets, and quilts to help them to survive the rainfall period. I'm the reporter Guo Tianqi. I think maybe this is the end of our live streaming, and we are still here in Shimian County to bring you the latest of the earthquake and the rescue effort. Hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye.